They don't forget it. Love is their home. Happiness. Sweet, sweet.
Sounds so soulful, don't you agree?
Squeeze her, don't tease her, never leave her.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pub Sports Radio Baseball Show. My name is Jose Bouquet, and of course, as always, Andrew, always, Andrew.
Always.
I'm joined by the Heath Hembry to my Brandon Workman. It's Andrew Santangelo. How are you doing, Andrew?
Doing very well. You know, fun to have a base.
Are you doing well, Andrew? You had a tough weekend.
Well, that was a tough weekend. It was a tough weekend.
Well,
it was a tough weekend.
Was it?
It was. No, Sixers get swept by the Celtics, and then Flyers open up their series with a loss last night. So yeah, it was a tough last few days.
Who would have thought? I can't wait to be wearing my new Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown jersey. I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome.
It's on the way.
Good. Do you have any final thoughts? Do you want to say anything about the Sixers? I guess. No, I want to give you this forum. No, just if you want to have a chance to talk about their performance, how they rolled over, how out of shape.
I didn't roll over. I disagree with that.
How out of shape Joel Embiid is.
They rolled over in game 2, but the other 3 games are right there. They honestly should have won game 1 and game 3. And then game 4, they were right there until Harris went out.
Bad coaching. What can you say?
It's more than just bad coaching.
Do you want to have an obituary for Brett Brown? Do you want to say goodbye to him real quick?
I thank him for his time here. I was a Brett Brown fan. He was given an unfair shot here in Philly.
I love it.
Basically, I mean, it is what it is at this point. I mean, the move had to be made. Again, I don't think it was solely his fault. I think he never had a full constructed roster outside of last year. And what did he do? It took an unlucky shot to knock him out. So I have no hard feelings with Brown. I mean, he started the rebuild with us here, and it's on the front office here. I would say more than Brett Brown.
This is great. I love it. Andrew, I didn't want it to be a sweep, Andrew. I wanted it to be a competitive series. But
I'm not going to say we would have won, but I think it would have been a competitive series if we had Simmons.
Maybe, but who's to say? We just, have to accept that the Philadelphia 76ers got swept, and I'll live with that till the day I die, Andrew.
Yeah, hopefully we get a rematch with the Flyers and Bruins, but we'll see.
I hope not. Let's talk about, Andrew. We have 3 big topics we wanted to talk about today. We're back from a little hiatus, a lot of baseball, a lot of good stuff happening, and I'm excited to talk about it. First off, let's talk about the most surprising WAR leader we've probably had in the last couple of years. This player leads the MLB in offensive WAR over Fernando Tatis Jr., over their injured Aaron Judge, over everyone. And it's a surprising name, Andrew. I'm sure you know who it is, but because you looked at the document,
Of course.
Yeah, of course. Do you know who it is? I wanted to make you guess it.
I know who it is.
Oh, shit. Well, yes, it is Mike. It is Mike Yastrzemski. He has been an absolute all-star for the San Francisco Giants. He's doing ththings that are very unprecedented. Let me read you this little excerpt I read from The Athletic. Mike Yastrzemski leads the majors in offensive WAR. Second behind him is, of course, Fernando Tatis Jr. He's in second for runs scored. He leads the National League, in walks. He is the best leadoff hitter in the game, Andrew. He right now is batting with 2 strikes, Andrew. Let me give you some context. Average batting average for when you're down 2-0 with 2 strikes, 0-2, I guess, is 166. Andrew, you want to guess what Mike Yastrzemski's average with 2 strikes is?
We'll go, let's say 283.
286, Andrew.
Oh, I was pretty close. That's without seeing it.
You were very close. 286. Fernando Tatis Jr. this year, he's dominating and all this stuff. He's hitting 136 with 2 strikes. He is doing stuff that is incredible. On top of that, Andrew, we're talking batting average. Let's talk about slugging. Right now, Mikey Yaz. I don't know what nickname we're gonna give him, but we'll stick with Yaz for right now. He is slugging career 443, Andrew. There are only 8 players in their careers that have slugged over 400 with 2 strikes, Andrew. I'm going to give you this list, and your jaw might hit the floor. Tony Gwynn, Mookie Betts, Nolan Arenado, Manny Ramirez, Albert Pujols, Todd Helton, Barry Bonds. Let me tell you, Yastrzemski leads all of these guys. Bonds is the next closest at 428. And my man Mike is at 443. Andrew, please.
That's incredible.
Let's talk about Mike Yastrzemski.
He's a what? What was that?
He's great. He's great. I love him.
Oh, absolutely. He's a fun guy to watch. I mean, it's basically the only reason you turn into that Giants team right now with I guess you can call it their little rebuild they got going on in San Francisco. So, I mean, he's a good young prospect, not prospect anymore, but good young player. Got nice. I mean, his swing is really nice too.
Wait, hold on. Before we continue, how old do you think Mike Yastrzemski is? Because this might shock you.
Well, I'm gonna say he's older now by your reaction right there. I would have guessed like 22, 23.
He is 30.
Is he really?
He is 30 years old. He was in the minor leagues forever with the Baltimore Orioles, which brings me up to another thing. Why do the Orioles keep doing this, Andrew? Why are players just suddenly so much better when they leave the Orioles? This year we've had Dylan Bundy, trash with the Orioles forever, goes to the Angels, becomes good. Jake Arrieta was one of the first people to do this. Your man, my man, Jake Arrieta. And now Mike Yastrzemski was in their farm system forever, and now he's turning out to be the best offensive player in baseball right now, even over our beloved Fernando Tatis.
Yeah, I'd say I didn't realize he was 30. But that goes into I mean, you gotta get that means Baltimore's got good scouts, they just don't got developers. So that goes to coaching. I mean, right. You mentioned it there. I mean, this year, obviously, we knew Mike could do it last year. It kind of started coming along. But this year, like you mentioned, Dylan Bundy having a fantastic start. I think he might have had a rough outing his last time out.
He did.
But outside of that, he's been fantastic this year. So there's another guy that taking advantage of leaving them. And, I mean, hey, Baltimore's playing well right now. So I don't know if they went through any changes in the offseason, but something seems to be working this year at least.
Yeah, I know, right? Here's some more Mike Yastrzemski stats that kind of made me just lose my mind. He's hitting 309 this year. His OBP or OPS, his OPS is 1074, Andrew. When you have a 1 in front of your OPS, you're doing
fantastic.
It's great. Isolated power, Andrew. Remember my good friend Isolated Power?
I do remember that.
Excellent is 250. He is hitting right now 336 at isolated power. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. I love Mike Yastrzemski. He's one of the best players to watch in baseball right now. And if there was an all-star team, he'd probably be the starting center fielder.
No, I mean, without question, he'd be the starting center fielder. I don't know. How's his defense? Do you know anything on his defense?
I don't have any defensive stats offhand because some of the defensive stats are kind of screwy. It's actually weird. Mike Trout's having one of his worst defensive years, or he's having like clearly his worst defensive year this year for some reason, according to the defensive stats. I don't, but he's still a good glove out there. You see him making plays. If you scroll down the Giant Twitter feed, you'll see a Mike Yastrzemski catch here and there. That'll be great. Shout out to my man Matt Lawrence for watching. He's loving the Giants talk. I'm not watching the game currently, but I tailed Matt. If you're still watching, I'm on your New York or New England Revolution. Pick them tonight, so hopefully they win. But yeah, I just wanted to highlight Mike Yastrzemski, talk about him, and talk about his probably being the best leadoff hitter in baseball now. All of a sudden.
Yeah, I'd say off the top of my head, I'd agree with that. Hopefully, maybe the Giants can get some other guys in there soon, so they can actually be like real contenders and stuff, and maybe eventually become a real threat in the NL to do something. But I mean, because outside of that, obviously, you're looking at almost a waste of this talent like Trout is over with the Angels, because when these guys aren't making the playoffs, it's not as fun, because that's the one thing baseball lacks. I feel like is a lot of times a lot of the superstars don't make the playoffs, and then you get a bunch of guys in the World Series or in the Championship Series where you don't recognize some of the names compared to other sports when it's filled with a bunch of superstars.
Yeah, and it's not even just Mikey Yastrzemski too. It's Donovan Solano, who was hitting almost 400 for the whole first half of the season. Right now we're at 30 games for a lot of the season, or for a lot of teams. So we're about halfway. I don't think he's hitting 400 anymore, but Donnie Barrels was up there the whole time. Wilmer Flores, Andrew, you remember Wilmer Flores from Mets?
Absolutely.
Mets lore. I think he was on their World Series team too. He's doing
I think incredible.
So it's been fun, and they just brought up their catching prospect, whose name escapes me right now, but he's going to replace Buster Posey, and he looks like the real deal. So,
is it Joey Bart?
Yes, it is Joey Bart. Yeah, he's been doing great, and I'm excited to see him keep learning, keep growing, and even if Buster Posey comes back this year, I mean, that's not a bad mentor to have at all.
No, not at all. I mean, Buster Posey's been in the league for a while. Is he allowed to come back?
I don't think he's going to come back this year. I mean,
you were talking about next year. Okay,
yeah. Markakis came back. I mean, so if you wanted,
I thought he beat the deadline. I thought he came in like a day before the official deadline to come back was. I think it was like August 1st or something.
Well, I'm glad we got some Giants talk in there. We never talked Giants.
Something you probably didn't expect coming into this year. It was spend the first half of this, or not half, but first segment of the show on the Giants.
Good. Well, let's talk about another young team, Andrew. Let's talk about two young teams that have been scorching, Andrew. Scorching. It's our beloved San Diego Padres, who we talk about frequently, and my beloved Chicago White Sox. I don't remember if you were as high as me, but I was high on the White Sox this year, Andrew. Right now, let's count this up, Andrew. They beat St. Louis in the last game of their series, the White Sox. They swept the Detroit Tigers in a 4-game series, and they just beat the Cubs 2 out of 3 in Wrigley, which that rivalry is coming back. They're ruffling feathers. They're coming back. Jose Abreu has been phenomenal. We'll talk about him in a second. I feel like you want to talk some Jose Abreu, Andrew.
I love talking about Jose Abreu.
Luis Roberts has been everything we wanted and more. Not hitting for as high than average, but he's hitting home runs that are going out of Wrigley. It's just ridiculous. And this whole team is just hitting so well that it's been just so fun to watch.
Absolutely. To answer your question a little bit ago, I was high on the White Sox. I like what they did in the offseason coming in. I just didn't think they had what it takes to beat out the Twins or Indians for the playoff spots there.
And we did talk about this before the expanded playoffs too.
But no, Jose Abreu, I've always liked him, and obviously he's had some down years these last couple of years. I feel like compared to what he usually did when he first came into the league. But what he's done this last week has just been unbelievable. Let me read you these numbers. In the last 7 games, he's hitting .533, 15 RBIs, 7 home runs, 16 hits, and 9 runs scored.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, Jose Abreu has been absolutely tearing the cover off the ball. He actually had a 4 at-bat stretch where he hit 4 home runs in a row. I believe he hit 3 in one game and then woke up the next day and hit 1 in the next game. That's ridiculous. That's almost as hard, if not harder, than hitting 4 in one game.
The Cubs series, the first game of the series, he hit 2. The middle game of the series, he hit 3, and then the final one, he hit 1.
Man, that's ridiculous.
So in 3 games, he had 6 home runs.
Andrew, did you know, Andrew, there's more perfect games than 4 home run games?
I did see that, I think, when Brady was having this week.
Honestly, I mean, it might be more impressive. Who knows? That's what I'm saying. I love this White Sox team. I love how they're hitting. I love the prospects. It's a shame that they didn't have Michael Kopech come up. He opted out preseason before for COVID reasons. He's their top prospect pitching wise, and he throws absolute gas. He's a fun pitcher to watch. Andrew, what's up? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, can they chase down the Twins?
Well, Andrew, let's talk about their playoff chances because they're not gonna win the division. They're not gonna catch the Twins or the Indians.
Only 2 back. Well,
I just
got the same record as the Indians. I don't know. Well,
the Indians will be talked about. The Indians will be talked about for sure. We'll talk about them later. But Andrew, on the 18th, I believe that's last Tuesday, Andrew, they had an 85% chance to make the playoffs, 10% to win the division. Now they're at 96% chance to make the playoffs. 96, up from 85. That's
incredible.
That's a significant jump right here. I mean, short season, so 1 week really does change the playoffs chances odds, which is fun to watch here. But and then their division, 17% up from 10% off this winning streak. I'm excited to see it. The only thing, if I were going to be apprehensive about these White Sox, is the pitching. Dallas Keuchel has been pitching well so far. He has a 2.5 ERA, but I saw his FIP, which is a fielding independent pitching, which is basically like it's just like a more accurate and more predictive reading of your ERA. It's at a 5 right now, so that's going to go up. Dylan Cease, Andrew, remember Dylan Cease? Another prospect for the White Sox. Right now, he's in the last 4 weeks or last month, I believe. He's 4-1, 6.44 K9, 2.15 ERA. Pretty good right there. If they can keep getting more of Dylan Cease pitching well, if Dallas Keuchel can overcome his FIP, and Lucas Giolito can be the pitcher. He has a high ERA right now, but his strikeouts are up. He's still the elite pitcher we know. He just needs to get the ball down. I think he's just getting too many home runs hit off of him. But I really like these White Sox, and they're probably going to make the playoffs this year.
Maybe they go get Lance Lynn.
We will talk. We'll talk playoff and deadlines. We'll talk trade deadline next week because that comes up on Monday, Andrew, if you didn't know.
So I guess we'll talk. Yeah, I have to talk about Thursday then.
Thursday, yes.
Preview the deadline.
Yeah. So Monday trade deadline is crazy to think about, Andrew. It's absolutely insane. August.
I heard. I was watching MLB Network today, and I heard. I forget who it was, but he goes, "There's only 5 weeks left of the regular season." I was like, "Yeah, already? That's absurd!" Like,
I told you, we're halfway through. It's incredible. It's hilarious. Samwise chimes in and wants to know who goes farther in the playoffs: the Chicago White Sox or the San Diego Padres, or the Fathers, as they're referred to as well. We haven't talked about the Padres, but who do you think goes farther in these playoffs, Andrew?
That's a good question. I'd say, without knowing matchups, I think the Padres are. No, I'm gonna say the White Sox are built more for the playoffs without looking at matchups. I think they got more veterans there in the rotation. I like their I like the back end of their bullpen better, thanks to the struggles from Kirby Yates and him being on the IL right now. I think again, even the offense, you have Jose Abreu, Edwin Encarnacion. They've all been there before. Compared to a Padres young team who's still a little bit away, I think, from making a real postseason run. So I take the White Sox early on here without seeing any matchups.
Let's pull up this handy dandy bracket that I found on the Twitter machine today. This is the playoff bracket as it is today. I don't know if it's good quality for people to see out there, but right now, as it currently stands, we have the A's versus the Blue Jays, the Rays, Indians, which would be a tasty matchup in the first round. Yankees, Astros first round, which again, oh yes, please, please give me that. And then a fun matchup between Twins, White Sox. So that's a tough matchup for your White Sox right there. And on the other side, as of right now, it'd be Padres, Cardinals. Which team do you like in their matchup better right there?
If I'm being honest, I think both would lose first round.
Wow.
But I'd in that matchup, I'd have to lean towards San Diego having the better odds of coming out there, just because we all know what the Twins got in that offense, and if the Twins pitching kind of turns around, gets healthy, they're missing a couple guys now. I'd expect the Twins to hold off in that series more than the Cardinals, just because outside of Flaherty, I know they got some other names in there, but I think outside of Flaherty, you're looking at a couple question marks there, and even in their bullpen, you see some issues in that sense. But I'll tell you what, Goldschmidt's playing fantastic right now. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better return season for him either, as well, after some of the struggles we saw last year with his first year in St. Louis.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. and let's talk about the Padres real fast. So they swept Texas, basically. They got Texas right up out of here. After the whole Grand Slam thing with the Rangers, they decided to take 4 games from them and sweep the previously mentioned Astros, who are floundering yet again. They had it for a couple games. They thought they had it, but they kept playing these just bad teams that they picked on them. I think right now, Andrew, their record against above 500 teams is 0-8, which is just shocking for this Astros. But I definitely feel you. Let me check the comments real fast. Shout out to Boston Nick, who a frequent listener to the show. Yes, this is a Celtics jersey. Andrew wanted me to wear this, because his Sixers had to take the L. I hated to see it, to be honest. And Andrew,
no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Andrew, I did not want to see it. Andrew, I hated it. I did not. My eyes were burning. I did not want to see it.
You're such a liar. You're such a liar.
All right, and Boston also asked Oakland tonight ? And he's asking for our best bets. Let's take a quick minute before we talk about the dads fully, and let's find some bets for the people. Andrew, I'm gonna look right now. There's a couple of games going. Like I said, Toronto, Boston's going. The Phillies, they're playing.
They are playing right now.
Jake Arrieta on the mound. Shout out to him. Andrew, do you have any games you like out there tonight? Off topic.
Well, to answer his question about Oakland tonight, yes, I would take Oakland tonight over the Rangers. I think that's a matchup for the A's to win.
Yeah, you love that. I like the Cubbies tonight against Detroit, the Tigers. So that's also another good one right there. I like the Cubs. ESPN has them at -136, which I thought that was kind of weird. It's on the mound for the Cubs tonight. Jeez.
For who?
It's Chatwood versus Turnbull for the Cubs. Yeah. So Chatwood's coming off the IL. I'd roll the dice there. His last start wasn't great at all, but his first 2 of the season were good. So I'd roll that. And Milwaukee, Cincinnati. I lost money on this last night. Shout out to Trevor Bauer.
You're right. The one bad game he has.
I know, right? I know. I almost put it all on Jack Flaherty too. But if I had to give a quick underdog, just a live dog out there, I always like San Francisco over for the Dodgers. It's a rivalry, so they get in there a little more. They get heated. The Dodgers, of course, are incredible. Their win percentage, they're winning 75% of the games, I think, right now, which is crazy. That's insane. But like we said, Mikey Yastrzemski is a good pitcher. Johnny Cueto, maybe he pulls back another vintage performance for them. He pitched well against the Dodgers earlier this year, I believe, too. And the Dodgers have going Luis Urias. Did you know that I just looked down? The Dodgers are 11-3 away this year. That's ridiculous. That's
man.
11-3. That's great. That's great. Jeez. All right, but yeah, I would say that dog pick right there would be the Giants.
I'll say one of my locks of the night. I'll take the Cardinals over the Royals. Matt Harvey's back in the MLB, making his second start. Making his second start in his return. So he's on the mound tonight for Kansas City. So give me the St. Louis Cardinals to rough up Matt Harvey tonight and get that win as one of my locks of the night.
Shout out to the Cardinals. Jeez.
What was that?
Shout out to the Cardinals and shout out to Matt Harvey.
I can't believe he's back in the league.
I can't either. Matt chimes in with Urias hurts the Giants normally, but he likes the over 9.5. I don't mind that at all. And do you like the over 9.5? I mean, those games do usually go up in scoring.
Let's see who's his counter. Johnny Cueto's his counterpart. Kepler will also go to the bullpen early. Yeah, I'll take over 9.5. I'll take over 9.5.
And we know Kepler is very, very bad at managing a bullpen. Horribly bad.
Easy. Yeah, he's got this Giants team in a playoff spot, man.
Yeah, he does. Not the Phillies. But they're gonna win the division. Don't worry. But the dads, Angelos. Well, we got off topic. The dads. I wanted to talk about a player on the Padres that is not Fernando Tatis Jr. It's Jake Cronenworth. Andrew. Jake Cronenworth, very Rays player. They traded him to the Padres. The Rays did. Plays multiple positions. He pitches too a little bit, which I thought was fun.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's not a bad player at all. But right now, amongst rookies, Andrew, he's third in average at 347, fifth in RBIs, and second in OPS. Rookie of the year candidate. He's been doing great. He plays everywhere on the field. He plays first. He plays third. He's had a hitting streak for about like 5 or 6 games now. It seems like over the past like week or so that he's just really just hammered it down. And I'm a big fan of it. And what do you think, Andrew?
I think he's playing fantastic baseball right now. I mean, I think he's kind of won himself a spot there in that lineup. But no, I think overall the Padres are a lot of fun. They're in a very tough division, obviously with the Dodgers being there, so a lot of tough games in that sense. But I think we mentioned this before the season with the shortened season helping the Padres out, because you see teams like this get off to a good start and then it kind of falls out throughout the year because they don't know how to last the whole season. So obviously with the shortened season, again, it's going to help them out. And I don't know if they'll be able to keep up this pace of winning. I think eventually it'll start to even back out a little bit. But it's fun to watch. I mean, this team just finds ways to hit the ball, and they score at a very high rate. And I mean, that grand slam, what was it, 4 or 5 straight games with the grand slam? Like that was just crazy.
Yeah, that's what it is now. It's crazy. Sam wants to chime in here. Yastrzemski or Cronenworth for NL Rookie of the Year right now, Andrew? I'll even throw in Dustin May as well, who should be in this conversation.
I have to say Yastrzemski.
Yeah. I think it's Yastrzemski pretty safely, to be honest.
It would all come back to how do they take like records into account, because some voters do take that into account. If the Padres keep this up, and obviously I don't think they'll ever pass the Dodgers, but seeding wise they'd be the best non-division winner. So if you go off that compared to a Giants team that might miss the playoffs, they could lean the other way on that note, or give it to Dustin May, obviously helping that Dodgers team get to where they're at. But my pick would be Yastrzemski.
Yeah, shout out to him. Boston Nick wants to know about the over 8 in this Reds game. It's Brandon Woodruff versus Luis Castillo. I actually am not a fan of this, to be honest. Just like first thing, but offenses have been picking up, and I think I'm not going to do the research on this, but if you look and see totals over the last probably week or so, I would say overs are probably one majority of the time, just because offenses again have been picking up. Pitchers had the advantage early on, but now it seems like you take the White Sox for an example, just teams are starting to get hot at the right time, and pitchers are falling off like flies.
Yeah, I like the 8 or over 8 in this one. My feelings on Woodruff. I was never a big fan of his coming in.
Yeah.
Luis Castillo is struggling early on here. I think he's 0-3 with, I think his ERA is in the 4s. So I expect this game to be around 6.5, 6.4, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like I said, when I first looked at it, I was like, I don't know, Woodruff, Castillo, they're both good pitchers. But like we said, I mean, if let's say Castillo goes 6.5, then the Reds bullpen is atrocious. We'll talk about the atrocious bullpens here in a second, by the way.
Man, you sent me that graphic, and that was like a stab to the heart.
We'll talk about it. But at first glance, I didn't like it. But if you really look into it, the matchups there, I like the over 8 as well. Do you have anyone else want to talk about on the Padres there? Any Padres players that you like?
Have we mentioned Lamet before? I mean, his start to the year.
No, we have not.
His start to the year in that rotation is fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know you're a big fan of his, so I'll let you fill everyone in on him.
Well, he just throws absolute gas. And if a starting pitcher throws consistently above 95, touches 100 too, I'm in. I'm all the way in. His cutter's disgusting. He's been one of the best pitchers in baseball. I think he's 2-1 in this month, but he has a sub-2 ERA. His strikeouts are up. And it's really tough to say who the ace is in that staff, just because Chris Paddock, electric, gigantic human being, throws gas as well. And Dinelson Lamet also has got a ton of swag. I really love the Padres' power pitching. It's a good time. And I mean, Garrett Richards is also good if we're going to talk about Padres rotation. They just really need to lock down that closer spot now that Kirby Yates is out and the bullpen as a whole. Shout out to Drew Pomeranz, my guy.
Yeah, they used him for a while. Now he's hurt too, I think, right?
I you know what? I've just lost touch with both my boy Drew. I haven't seen him, so So I would assume so. I guess.
I think he's hurt now as well. So I would think they'll try to trade for some type of closer. I don't know. Again, we don't know who's going to be available and whatnot, and how many teams are going to want to make trades. But I'd expect him to do something.
I agree with you, Andrew. Let's talk about your team. I devoted a whole segment for your team, Andrew, because both of our teams made a deal recently. The first deal of this season, the first major deal, I guess, with notable names. The Boston Red Sox trade Brandon Workman and Heath Hembree to your Philadelphia Phillies for Connor Seabolt and Nick Pivetta.
That's correct. And you guys gave us cash
and
to keep us under the luxury tax. Very important.
No problem. I got you. A couple million from my pocket to yours, Andrew. You've seen the Workman now, I think twice. Yeah,
he's
not
impressive at all. Let's just say that.
I want you to tell me what the experience is like. Your bullpen is historically awful, absolutely terrible. It has an 8 ERA combined right now, Andrew. Next closest, the Boston Red Sox at 5.45, Andrew. What is it like to have such a terrible bullpen? I would love to know.
Well, first off, before I get into the pain, but watching the game, it doesn't matter whether the Phillies take a 5-0 lead, a 10-3 lead, a 3-2 lead. It doesn't matter what it is. It keeps you watching the game the entire time because no matter what the score is, things might change fast. So
we told people about this at the beginning of the season. The Phillies are the most exciting team to watch because this bullpen will blow leads, and look what's happened.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, I think I sent you the graphic of it. Broke down the Phillies' run differential per inning. And if you look at the first 5 innings, it's majority green for the Phillies, and then all of a sudden you get to the 9th inning. I think it was negative 14 or 15 runs in the 9th inning for the Phillies. So that just says it all right there. And
I'm gonna lift off some things. I'm gonna lift off some numbers. You tell me what you think this is. 5, 8.59, 4, 1.2, 7.94, 11.12, 15.8, a 0. 4.15, 17.14, 10.80, and 21, Andrew. What do you think that is?
That is the ERA of the Phillies relievers.
Yep, that is the individual ERAs of each Phillies reliever. And if you're a gambler, this is something that I've done at several points this season. There is nothing like betting on a team that goes down 3-0 at plus 300, especially against the Phillies. If the Phillies go up 3-0, hammer the other team because they're liable to give up that lead at any moment. Andrew, I believe you had a stat from the other day. The last 5 Phillies losses, every time they've been up at some point in the game.
That stat is now extended. The last 9 losses, the Phillies had a lead. I mean, you take it. One of the most recent examples. I'll take you to last Thursday. They had a doubleheader against Toronto. The first game, I believe, I don't remember the score it was, but they go up by, I think it was 3 runs. Toronto eventually walks it off in the bottom of the 7th inning. And the funny part is the 7-inning games are supposed to help the Phillies, and they don't. The Phillies still blew the game in the 7th inning, ended up losing that first game.
That's hilarious.
And then the second game, the Phillies go up 7-0, and they go on to lose the game. Yeah. I think the final was 9-8, I believe was the final. So, yeah. So they blow a 7-run lead the other day. That's Phillies baseball this year. Very frustrating. They're up 4-1 right now. So there's that 3-run lead for you, Jose. If you want
to, Jake. Hey, with Jake on the honestly, right now, if you're listening to this and you're a bettor, I would just go ahead and lock in whoever the Nationals. The Nationals are a good ball club too, even though they're bit with the World Series curse, like I told everyone. Go ahead and bet the Nationals because this is going to be a closer game. Is then 4-1. If the only way that the Phillies win games comfortably is if the offense just pounding them out.
And that's one of the issues we face is they jump out, get a lot of runs early on, and then they kind of just skate through the rest of the game. So, I mean, obviously, I'll take 6-7 runs a game whenever, and that's what they usually get. I think they average 5.5 runs per game. But the problem is they get 5 runs, and then they'll just coast the rest of the way. And
it's hilarious.
when you give up all those runs in the back end of the game, not a good mix there.
So last Tuesday, Andrew, is my arbitrary starting point. Last Tuesday, they had a 65.6% chance to make the playoffs, Andrew. Right now, as it currently stands, what would you guess that percentage is now?
Well, after dropping 5 straight, I'd say it's probably down to about
5 straight.
38%, if that.
43%, Andrew. 43.6%. Right now, you're projected. Fangraphs has you guys projected at 29-31. The Nationals right now are projected for the reverse, 31-29. Who has the better record, Andrew?
Right now or by the end of the year?
By the end of the year.
It's gonna come. A lot's gonna ride on what happens in this 3-game series. But I gotta stick.
We're gonna talk about it here in a second too.
I'll tell you what, though, Steven Strasburg being out for the season really helps the Phillies, obviously.
Mm-hmm. World Series curse.
I'm thinking about switching over to the Phillies on this one. Their pitching staff hasn't really done much. Scherzer's kind of struggling right now. I think he's got like a 4.13 ERA or something like that.
Not good, yeah.
So give me the Phillies on this one. I'll switch over for now.
Hell yeah.
Slowly growing. We got some bullpen help. And we traded for 3 relievers that day. So
yeah, you need them all.
That's for sure.
So I was reading, like we said, the trade deadline's coming up on Monday, 31st. We'll be live on Thursday to talk about it. We'll do a full preview breakdown. But I read Jeff Passan, my man, was just like, hey, well, what if the Phillies lose a couple more games here? They're out of contention. JT, man, free agent coming up. So what's going to happen there? Samwise, I bring this up because Samwise comments it's 5:54 p.m. and it's time to sign JT Realmuto.
He says that because he just had a 3-run home run. That's how we got the 4.
Hey, there we go.
But no, I agree with Sam. I mean, I don't know what the Phillies are waiting for. The longer you wait, the more his price goes up. Because he's on a tear right now. I think he's top 5 and leading the MLB, if not the NL, in home runs for the year. So his value just keeps going up. And I don't know what they're waiting for. He's going to keep going up. And I'm very worried. I am honestly very worried about whether he will be in a Phillies uniform next year.
I'll tell you right now, I don't think so. I don't think he will.
Because the counter to that is the Phillies haven't changed any of these bullpen issues in the last 3 or 4 years. So even if they offer him something, what's his incentive to come back to this team right now if they don't change anything at the deadline or early on in the offseason next year? Like, well, what's his incentive to come back to a team that can't win games late because they don't have a front office that's winning games? Yeah, but it's going to be a bidding war either way, so he's going to get his money no matter what.
Who knows? With the pandemic, maybe these teams will cry poverty again. Who knows? We don't know what's going to happen. But I hope your team signs.
Trust me, so do I.
You want to talk about real fast the Braves game this weekend, the second Brandon Workman appearance for your Philadelphia Phillies. Played.
Yeah, because blowing games every night isn't big enough frustration for us. He had to make the second game of his Phillies career very stressful. He comes in with a 2-run lead, gives up his first and second 2 out. I think Freeman was up. Freeman drives it to left center. 1 run scores easy. The other run gets thrown out at the plate to win the game.
I thought incredible tag. Incredible.
I would say that. I was going to get to that. I was like, I don't know how he held on to that ball, but kind of gets collided.
I thought that was JT. I was like, man, that's veteran in the league right there. And I was like, who the fuck is that? That's not JT.
Yeah, JT was DH in that game. Andrew Knapp is the backup catcher. He's having a great year after a lot of criticism last year from me and a lot of other fans.
Yeah, he read the dimension. He read it.
he batted like below 200 last year, and this year he's hitting like close to 500. I don't know what changed, but Workman had to get his work cut out for him before he got that save. But let me ask you a question: was his curveball very bad with you guys, or is he just in a bad slump right now? Because his curveball right now looks very, very bad.
In 2018, he was probably one of the best relievers in baseball. Really, like if you look at the stats, he was one of the best relievers in baseball. I think last year, Andrew, he went 10-1. I think I heard that on a podcast today, which was insane.
For a reliever.
Yeah. Let me tell you, curveballs every time. Every single time we're throwing the curveball. It's a good pitch, but if you can't locate it, it's over. And his fastball's been off this year. But let me tell you, curveballs, he'll snap it in there every time. If you watch one Brandon Workman inning, you'll know exactly what we're talking about because every pitch is that curveball. I promise you. He goes to the well.
Just in 2 outings I've watched for him, it's been like that curveball just hangs there, and you like as a fan, you're just waiting for it to get crushed. And of course, Freddie Freeman isn't missing that.
Have you gotten a Heath Hembry experience yet?
Yes, he pitched Sunday. He looks very good. He came in a jam, got out of it in the 6th, and then he ended up throwing the whole inning the next. He struck out, I think it was 3 of his 7 batters he faced or something. I was impressed with him early on.
It's my boy right there. Good job, Heath Hembry. I'm glad we could talk Phillies though.
Which one's better?
Who's better right now?
Yeah.
It's obviously Heath Hembry.
So I guess they won't do it because Workman's closed before. But like theoretically, would you rather Hembry close than Workman? Like if he was still with the Red Sox?
This is like you're asking me like, do I want to stab myself in the left hand or the right hand? It's really tough to say because Hembry will really put you in situations that will make you want to die. But I'd still pick Workman.
Okay.
I still pick Workman. All right, Andrew. Let's we finished all our topics today. Let's get into matchups to look forward to, Andrew. And the first one, as we're talking about these Phillies and as we're talking about that game, is Phillies Nationals. A very important series. The Phillies 5-game losing streak. What is it now?
They won on Sunday, so that ended the losing streak.
Oh, good.
But it was 5-game last week when we were. But Andrew Knapp's save of not dropping that ball and tagging that guy out saved that losing streak.
Yep, he gets out of it. Great tag by him. We've got Arrieta versus Feedy, whatever that guy's name is for the Braves. It's really just
Nationals.
Or the Nationals. It's really just creative players at some point with these pitchers, which is hilarious. Then we've got a very delicious matchup tomorrow. Aaron Nola versus Patrick Corbin. And then we've got your boy Spencer Howard, I believe his name is.
Yes.
Versus Max Scherzer. So that'll be fun.
Yes.
I hope Spencer can hold his own. But Andrew, can you give me a little prediction here for this series?
I think Phillies take 2 of 3. I think they win today. And then I think they'll take tomorrow with Nola. I'd take Nola over Corbin. But then, obviously, I'll take the veteran Max Scherzer over the first-year Spencer Howard right now. Not that he'll do bad, but Scherzer always kills the Phillies. And until I see the Phillies prove otherwise, I'm going to have to go with him.
Okay, good. By the way, Andrew, I'm going to upload this picture so we can see it real fast.
Okay.
The first time, Andrew, since July 26th, we will have all the baseball teams playing on the same day, every team. That is beautiful to see.
It's incredible.
You did not think this was going to happen?
I did not. Which I thought it was going to stay true when the Mets went last weekend or didn't play last weekend because of the virus. So I thought that'd carry over into this week as well, but I guess they got ruled okay. But no, very cool to finally see that. Obviously, with basically a month without that happening.
There, guys, we're so close. The Andrew, what I'm really rooting for, we're almost to the luxury cap reset day, Andrew. I believe it's the trade deadline. We need to pass the trade deadline so the luxury cap can reset and the Red Sox can start spending money again. Fingers crossed.
Hopefully, for your sake, they do.
Yeah.
Obviously, they'll let go of a special player.
I don't want that. Nope. We're next topic, Andrew.
But no. Real quick. You mentioned got to get through it. Have they? I know they were already talking about it. I don't think they've decided yet whether they're going to play the playoffs in a bubble, right? I don't think that's been. They're talking about it. I know that, but I don't think they ruled a ruling yet. Have they?
There's been talk, like you said, but I don't think baseball has not come out and said anything officially yet.
So let me ask you this: if obviously with taking out any like bad cities or whatever with the virus, if you were to place the playoffs into a bubble, which stadium / city would you put it in?
Is this
Like if you
aesthetics or like functionality?
what was the first part? Sorry, I was kind of talking over it.
Aesthetics. Like, do you want me like visually pleasing, like where I'd want to see these games played, or
Yeah, like for a fan, like watching it. Yeah, with not worrying about like money or anything of that wise. If you were to place it into one to watch the playoffs in, where are you picking?
I think if we're gonna split it off into two bubbles, for National League and American League, I think the New York Boston bubble would be pretty cool. I don't know exactly how long the drive is from New York to Boston. I think it's like 3-4 hours. But I think it would be fun to have some games in Fenway Park, some games in the Yankee Stadium shitbox, and then some games at Citi Field, aka Shea Stadium, with the Mets. That would be also be cool. I would enjoy those three places. And then my other one would be the Illinois, the Chicago ring, which would be the Cubs at Wrigley, the White Sox, and I would even throw the Milwaukee Brewers in there as close enough to there to make the bus ride.
I like watching games at Miller Park.
Yeah, it's great.
It looks like a really cool. It looks like a really cool field.
I want everyone to hit the slide every time they hit a home run, so it's a good time.
I'm a big fan of PNC Park too. I like Pirates Stadium. It looks really nice.
It's very nice. I'll agree with you. PNC Park is probably the most visually appealing. Good one. Sam wants to chime in and say Opacey in Seattle. I don't know what
Seattle. Why Seattle? I gotta know why Seattle, Sam. If you can give us an answer on that one, I gotta know why Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle is not a visually appealing place to me. Let me tell you, I have not watched a home Seattle Mariners game, and I don't know. And I think I'm going to keep it that way. The only player on that team that will make me change the channel to watch them play is Kyle Lewis, probably AL Rookie of the Year. We'll talk about it eventually, Shout out to him though. I'm seeing you, Kyle. I see you out there, dog. I see you. Next matchup to look forward to this weekend, Andrew. You have something to say?
I was gonna say his first one is Camden Yards. It's Oriole Park at Camden Yards. I just looked it up because he had me thrown off of that as well. So I just looked up what Opacity was, and it says Oriole Park at Camden Yards.
Man, those people, hey, Sam, there's some major judgment there. It's just Camden Yards. It's not, what the hell is that? That's bad. Sam explained his choice. It's got a roof. So you can play rain or shine, good weather, and lots of dingers. So, Sam, thank you for that. The weather would be an issue at the New York, Boston hub. It would definitely be an issue there. So I agree with you. Next matchup, Andrew. The Minnesota Twins versus the Indians. I feel like we have this matchup every time it comes on, but it's a great matchup. It's a great matchup either way. We've got Rich Hill versus Shane Bieber today. 5-0, 1.11 ERA. Shane Bieber, by the way. Andrew, I like to ask you this question frequently on this program. Is that good?
That is beyond good. That is amazing.
Okay,
fantastic. I mean, I think it's got to be clear-cut favorite for Cy Young, right?
Yeah, right. AL Cy Young for sure. There's not Garrett Cole. I mean, you could put his name in there, but I think Bieber's just been more dominant. He's been breaking records, but whatever. Jose Barrios versus Plutko in Game 2, and then Game 1 already happened last night. I think it was last night. So we had
Twins won.
Yeah, Kenta Maeda versus Adam Savali. Aaron Savali. Savali is what we'll go with. 3-2 Twins victory. Sano hit a 2-run home run in that game to put them up and give them the win. We already have one game down. Andrew, what are your thoughts on this matchup, this playoff race, and this game as a whole?
Give me the Indians taking these next two, bringing their deficit in the division down to a half game behind the Twins after this series. I think Mike Clevenger's got lots to prove on Wednesday, making his first start since that whole thing happened down with Cleveland.
Yeah, so I had my starters wrong. So Clevenger's pitching tomorrow. Today's Tuesday, so he's pitching Barrios versus Clevenger instead of Plutko. Then, so there you go. That's more fun.
I didn't even hear you say Plutko, but they announced it I think like an hour or two ago.
I remember they didn't announce it. I did see that because something we'll talk about right now briefly. Zach Plesac, the other pitcher in the whole going out scandal that they had, not brought up on the major league roster. The Twins. The Indians said that they don't have the opportunity, the major league opportunity time for him, or whatever they want to call it. They don't have the space for him, basically. After their number one prospect, Tristan McKenzie, came out skinny lad, but he came out throwing heat. 10 Ks in his first major league start. Andrew, let me tell you right now. I'm going to tell you this now so we can remember. That is going to be the biggest name dealt during the trade deadline this year.
Well, Matt Klentak, since I know you're listening, hear that out. Go get him. But no, I think I agree. At this point, I guess he's going to be traded. Hey, White. I guess you would never trade him, a guy like that in your division. So never mind. Sorry, White Sox. I think you're going to miss out on that one.
Can't do it.
The
Red Sox.
Padres.
The Red Sox have been rumored for this man because
you guys need pitching. That's for sure.
Yeah, every arm we could get. But the main reason is that Andrew Benintendi has been in a coma since the 2018 World Series. So the Red Sox have been kicking the tires, maybe trading him straight up for Plesac for Benintendi. The Indians need all the outfitters they can get because their outfielder sucks.
I don't know if the Indians do that though. You guys might even give up more.
Man, I honestly thought the other way, to be honest. You know, this stuff. Well, yeah, we'll see. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that deal gets made though. Benintendi on the shelf with a rib injury. He broke a rib tripping. He literally tripped. Rounding second, fell on his ribs and broke his ribs or something like that. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Of course, he couldn't get up and he got caught out as well. So. Andrew, that's all my matchups. I only had 2 for this today because we go back on Thursday. So, do you have any matchups or a game you want to talk about real fast?
I think Yankees Braves. That's gonna be a fun one. I think that's a fun matchup. The Yankees get Aaron Judge back tonight, get him back in the lineup. I believe they activated him off the IL. It's either today or tomorrow. But either way, one of these Braves games. So I think that's gonna be a fun game. You can see a lot of offense in this game or in this series, depending on what happens.
Ronald Acuna's back too. Yeah, he came back.
Is he? I missed that one.
Yeah, I forgot. He's on the fantasy team. That's the only reason why I know that. But he comes back today. Him lead off, playing out.
Okay.
Well, that's not good for your Phillies, but
no, not at all. I think, we mentioned it earlier because of the rivalry, but Dodgers-Giants is always fun to watch. I'd have to I'll tune in that game later tonight probably.
I love the East Coast baseball or the West Coast baseball. I love how late it is. It's my favorite thing.
Oh, it's great. I think
I watch the A's every night basically because they're all
right.
I love it.
I think that's pretty much all the matchups though. Kind of a weak matchup. A couple days here before we get to Thursday and the weekend.
We're finding out who the real teams are. You know, we're weeding them out.
What about Baltimore, Tampa Bay? That interests you at all?
It tickles me. You know, maybe I'll tune in for a couple innings. The Orioles in the playoffs right now, I believe. Right now, we'll see on Monday or up until this week if they're going to be buyers or sellers. I hope they're sellers. You know, if I was them, Anthony Santander, see ya. Their catcher that's been hitting well right now, see ya. But who knows? The logistics of trading people during a pandemic is kind of tough.
I got one last team to mention here.
Okay.
How about the drop-off in the Colorado Rockies?
Yeah, well, you know, that's kind of what we expected. I'm glad we gave them the time. Speaking of drop-offs, too, another team that dropped off, the Tigers, man. Oh, my gosh. After we talked about them, they just went straight into the tank.
Right.
They called up their 2 best prospects in Casey Mize and Tarek Skubal. I don't even know how to say his first name, but his last name's Skubal. So Mize and Skubal came up. They both been struggling, but they're like babies out there. So I'm glad that they're at least getting innings. So I mean, at least the Tigers are giving the fans a product to watch on the field that will be enjoyable as they lose all these games.
Yeah, I'll have to update it for Thursday, but I gave both those teams, the Rockies and Tigers, some love on those power rankings, and they just dropped like crazy.
Yeah. Wait, when are we getting the next edition of Andrew's Power Rankings? Are we
I'll update it for Thursday.
Okay. Well, how about we get a post-trade deadline Power Rankings?
So wait till Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. You know that Tuesday. If you're listening still, Tuesday is going to be a great episode. We've got Andrew's Power Rankings, and we've got the long-awaited opening of the wax packs on Tuesday, hopefully. I've got mine. Andrew's waiting for his.
Mine should be here Thursday. It says.
Okay, good. We'll do it on Tuesday. We will be trying 70. I think the card. What year are the cards from? 1976, something like that.
86.
86. We'll be trying out a very old piece of gum, and I'm very excited to try that on there with you.
It's probably gonna be like a rock. I mean, let's be real. It's gonna.
We're gonna have to go to the dentist.
Hopefully we don't break a tooth on Tuesday's episode.
Yeah, you're right. All right, let's wrap up the show, Andrew, with everyone's favorite segment of the week.
How does your leg feel today?
Oh, feeling good.
So what happened to you?
Huh?
What happened?
Just crap.
Just a cramp?
Yeah, just crap.
So you told me what can you eat to help you make you feel better?
Bananas.
Yeah. Why bananas?
Monkeys never craps.
Yes, monkeys never craps, and of course, let's welcome into the Kawasaki moment of the week. This segment is dedicated to my man Winomori Kawasaki. This is just a fun, interesting baseball moment of the week, Andrew, and I have some nominees for you. I have a variety of nominees. Let's start off, since we haven't done this in a little bit. Let's start off with the teddy bear that you're seeing right now, Andrew. As you can see, the Oakland A's and the Arizona Diamondbacks played this past week, and we had an incident, Andrew, and it's tragic. If you're squeamish, I'd avert your eyes.
Just unbearable.
Still smiling.
Oh, bad. Just
Still-
crushed.
Still smiling.
I can't bear to watch it.
Popped right back. Popped right back.
I think
everything is fine.
It hurts.
Still smiling.
At least he's still smiling. Shout out to the bear. Got smoked by that foul ball right on the noggin. But Andrew, that bear is a consummate professional, and he got back out there. Andrew, he got back out there, and he has a sidekick now with the elephant, and he's got some tape to fix his head.
Nothing will get him to miss a game. Don't worry.
No, so I'm glad Barry Bear out there. He even got the foul ball, so I'm glad that he got to keep that as well. So shout out to my man, the bear there. But I thought that was hilarious. It was
That was great.
One of the funniest things that I have seen, and it is one of the better unintentional comedy moments of this baseball season. Because whenever a cutout or something like that gets smoked, it's always funny. Next theme, Andrew, is umpires, Andrew, because umpires had a very, very tough stretch this last week. We're going back to the A's. We love the A's on this program, and let's see what the umpire is doing today.
So Adele is the runner at second base. Here's Castro. He takes a pitch right down the middle.
Right there, down the middle. 94. Middle, Andrew. Let's give me that ball. Andrew, he couldn't do it again, right, Andrew?
No, not at all.
He couldn't. There's no chance he could do it again, Andrew.
That perfect of a pitch, there's no way he can do it again.
There's no way, right?
That one called the ball.
Right there again.
Here's the first pitch to Castro. Watch it.
Middle. Let's watch the first pitch again as the A's broadcast says.
Right there.
Right down the middle. Literally as right down the middle as you could get. And absolutely just couldn't pull the trigger, the Blue said. Could not pull the trigger. I feel very bad for Liam Hendricks there. But that theme would continue. This lovely gif here is of the Tampa Bay Rays and the Blue Jays, and the Blue, he wasn't sure about the call here, Andrew. Let's watch this. Let's watch this form, Is it out safe? Who knows? What are we calling? Oh my gosh. The out to the safe call midway through is a bold move right there. A very, very bold move. Shout out to that umpire, man, because a lot of umpires would not have the balls to switch their call in the middle right there. So,
Well, it's not easier now with the replay, probably.
yeah, some would just wear it, let the replay fix it. But he went. He had to call it. That's integrity. That's integrity. Shout out to him. My next nominee, Andrew, for you is someone that has featured on this segment a lot. It's one Zach Greinke, Andrew. Zach Greinke, known for his creativity in pitching. You know, he calls for his pitch down and then just goes ahead and throws a curveball at 54. That is the correct reading, as you guys can see, a 54 piece, Andrew. Let me see this again. He calls for it down, calls for whatever, and then just drops it right in at 54. That is incredible, Andrew. What would you do if you were just a professional hitter gearing up for like 190 plus, and then Zach Greinke just fools you here and throws a 54 piece?
I think that's what kind of makes it a lot more crazy. Like, these guys are used to now, like, every pitcher now can usually throw like 95 to 100. Like, that just seems to be the thing now. And obviously Greinke's not throwing that, but when these guys are going out there day in, day out, used to that kind of stuff now, and then Greinke just drops that, like, he's like, you can just tell the batter's so confused right there. Like, he's like, he gets
the hell. I'd be so furious.
He gets ready to just like swing it. Like, it looks like he's ready to swing out of his shoes, and it's just like the ball never gets there. He like backs up.
No, at first it's coming right at his eyes, and he's like, "I'm not swinging at that shit," and then it just drops right in. That's the funniest thing ever. I think that'll be the slowest pitch in baseball this year. I think we can safely say that.
Probably. At least Ump got that call right.
Yeah. That would have been more funny. Another moment that I didn't put on here that should be mentioned is that they were cleaning off the mound. They were doing something with the mound,
Yes.
and Zach Greinke, was pitching, and he just took a crisscross applesauce squat, chilled out behind the mound, and just let the man do their work, which is a real funny visual. If you guys can go pull up the picture, it's super funny to see. It's very funny.
Is that all my nominees?
No, Andrew.
No.
We're not done.
Okay. All right.
We're going to talk about another thing. This happened on the Indians broadcast. Ray Lightning Bolt Caldwell, Andrew. Do you know about my man, Ray Caldwell?
Yeah, I saw this.
My man, Ray Caldwell, Indians pitcher, as you can see, 1919 through 1921, struck by lightning in the middle of a baseball game. He decided, that's not going to stop me, Andrew. Let me get revived. You can do the chest compressions. I know they didn't have defibrillators back then, but you could defibrillate me. We'll revive it, and let's finish. And that's the funniest thing. Finished game after being revived, and then pitched a no-hitter 17 days later.
That's just unbelievable.
They're not made like that anymore, Andrew. And I just think
not at all.
I think we need to give our man Ray Caldwell, Ray Lightning Bolt Caldwell, some shout out here.
Absolutely. I mean, you'll never see that today. I mean,
I think that might be one of my moments. Like, if I had to go back in a time machine and go see something that I hadn't seen in baseball, it might be Ray Caldwell getting struck by lightning and finishing.
That would be fun. Depends on how many moments I have, but that would be up there.
That might be. All right, Andrew. 2 more nominees for you. 2 more nominees. Are you ready for them?
I'm ready. I'm always ready.
Because Andrew, this one nominee should have been in the umpire section, so we're gonna put it right here. This is
right.
Josh Stalmont. I don't know if you've heard of him. Kansas City Royals reliever, throws gas as well. You should definitely be up on him. He's going to be the next great reliever. Throws 100 consistently. He's a great time. Let's watch this pitch by my man Josh.
Oh, goodness. It was right down the middle.
Where's this?
Grainy video, but you can clearly see 100 again. middle, no call. So
it's umpiring's getting worse and worse. It's a shame. I don't know how it can become better because it's obviously a problem.
Robotic zone.
But no, stop.
Let's watch it again, Andrew. Let's watch it again.
Oh, goodness. It was right down the middle.
Where's this?
Hey, it's
middle.
It said 100 miles per hour. I couldn't see the ball.
I couldn't see it.
Too fast for him.
Right.
Well, is that all the umpire ones?
Yes, that is the umpire ones.
You watched the Phillies game, the one Workman blew the save, right?
I did not watch all of it. I think I tuned in for the last bit of him getting worked.
But the ninth inning, right?
Yeah, I think so.
The play before he blew it, it was a routine play at the plate. Bases were loaded, and there's a force out at the plate.
And
And so, I don't know what that umpire was looking at.
The worst call, probably the worst, even worse than all that. I think was it a force play? What was it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a straight up force play. So all JT had to do is have his foot on the plate. Ball gets thrown to the plate. JT catches it, and then
safe.
The guy says safe. Luckily, you got replay on that one. But
hilarious. All the Phillies players were like looking around, like
what?
The hell? What just happened? Even who was the Braves? Correct.
Yeah, it was Braves. Yeah, it was Saturday night Braves.
Even the Braves players looked around like, did he just? Do we leave? Like, what do we do? But yeah, that was awesome. Umpires again struggling this week. Struggling. But that's fine. They go into the pandemic too. But Andrew, here's my last nominee, Andrew. And this is the first nominee we've had from overseas, Andrew. Overseas.
Okay.
We're going to the KBO, Andrew. We're going to the KBO.
I'm ready.
Yes, Andrew. But in Korea, they have fans in baseball games, Andrew.
Wouldn't that be nice?
I know. So I thought we would just enjoy this home run from former Major League Baseball player Justin Bour. You remember Justin Bour, home run hitter, home run derby, all that good stuff?
Absolutely.
Let's enjoy this.
さんこの人の長打力欲しいのはね。ここね打てばね。ゲームの流れ上もね。うわー出たー！一発で答えたボーア。10号ツーラン。試合の流れをしっかりとつかむさすがのボーア。甲子園のスタンドに放り込みました。どうだという表情です。一発回答でした。
I love Justin Bour. I love him. That home run was gigantic. Isn't it nice to be able to hear a home run with live crowd reaction too? Yeah, that made it awesome. It's just it makes like the difference is so clear now once you hear that. And I really enjoy the what's up, guys? That's so good. That's so good. And the announcing too, of course. The announcing as well. Well, I think we deserve to hear that one more time.
さんこの人の長打力欲しいのはね。ここね打てばね。ゲームの流れ上もね。うわー出たー！一発で答えたボーア。
Absolute smoke. Oh my god! And in that picture, if you want to watch it again, or in that video, the picture looks like he just saw it go. The picture, zoom on the picture, he's like.
The crowd reaction and everything else just made it seem like they'd never seen like a home run hit before. Like they were all just like amazed. Like
awesome. I love it. I don't know why Justin Bour doesn't have a baseball team here, but I love it. I love it.
Especially with NL getting the DH. Yeah, I would have thought.
I know, right? All right, Andrew. Those are all my nominees for the Kawasaki Moment of the Week, Andrew. Now I need you to decide who is the award winner today.
I'm stuck between two. The teddy bear one. And Granky. I think those are the two funniest. Let's go with the bear one.
Okay, shout out to
let's go bear. Let's go bear.
Shout out to the bear. Shout out to our bear too, by the way. I know he's watching out there somewhere. Great video from the A's. If you want to vote, maybe if you want to make this more diplomatic, if you want to vote and pick your own Kawasaki Moment of the Week winner, please do let us know in the chat, in the comments, who you think should have won if it's not this one. By the way, let's just give it again. Let's maybe this.
Okay, way out front.
Because I think what seals this one as well is the announcing was pretty funny as well, and then for the A's to pair them up and then show that for the next day, like now that was funny to me.
The announcing is great.
Wow. Popped right back. Popped right back.
I think everything is fine.
Everything's fine.
Still smiling.
Yeah.
Still smiling.
Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Shout out to the bear. I hope maybe we can get that bear onto the program. Maybe he can come on the show. Well, Andrew, as always, thank you for choosing our Kawasaki Moment of the Week.
How does your leg feel today?
Oh, feeling good.
So what happened to you?
Huh?
What happened?
Just crap.
Just a cramp?
Yeah, just crap.
So you told me what can you eat to help you make you feel better?
Bananas.
Yeah. Why bananas?
Monkeys never claps.
Thank you, Mr. Kawasaki, as always. Andrew, this is the end of the program. A little bit long, but I'm glad to be back. 2 episodes a week this week. We're going Tuesday and Thursday. If you guys don't know, we're switching up from Tuesday and Friday, Tuesday, Thursday. 5:15. Andrew, do you have anything to plug before we head out?
Other podcasts would be Chasing the Pennant, which is at ANYP Phillies, at Philly_sports now, at True_Philly Sport. And that's where I'm at right now. And then personal Twitter is AJ_Santangelo. I almost forgot that one.
That's where I'm at right now. All right. Thank you, Andrew, as always. Thank you, everyone that listens to us live. We appreciate everyone that tunes in. It's a great time. We have a great time in the comments, too, especially when we just randomly talk gambling for about 20 minutes just to derail the show. It's one of my favorite parts, but it's a good time. Good time. Thank you, as always, like I said, for listening. Tune into us live Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you can't make that, we have a podcast version as well that gets put out. Sometimes it has a little less bells and whistles, but you still get the audio content you need. But the YouTube, please subscribe to the Pub Torch Radio YouTube. We're almost at 1,000, Andrew. I said that at 1,000, if we got to 1,000 at the end of this month, before the end of this month, that I would dye my hair. So I think we're at 850 right now.
I forget. Do you get to pick the color, or is that Alexis?
That is an Alexis decision.
Okay.
Alexis decision. All right. Yeah.
I was gonna say, would you go green for the Celtics playoff run right now? Is that what you would do? Hopefully she doesn't do that. Can't let you escape that easy.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Go to the Pub Torch Radio shop. There's a bunch of good shirts out there. Like I said, our merch is coming. We're gonna have show merch, hopefully, with a nice little logo on there, black tee with our logo. I would love that. I'm very excited for it, Andrew. Follow us on Twitter at Jose Bouquet, at AJ Santangelo, as you can see on the screen. It's gonna be a good time. Thursday trade deadline special, Andrew.
I'm ready.
Let's see if we get some action, Andrew. If we get some trade deadline moves, it'll be a great time on Thursday. Next Tuesday, we've got Andrew's Power Rankings and our official unwrapping of the Wax Pack. Shout out to our man, Brad Belugian. Shout out to our man, Brad. Go buy his book as well, guys. And we'll see you guys next week.